The very last thing I want to mention here is that there is some notation or some words you should know. We call A here the domain, and we call B here the codomain. So what do we mean by domain and codomain? We're saying every element in A is in the domain, and similarly, every element in B is in what's called the codomain. It's just a fancy way of saying they live in separate houses almost. Everything in B lives in the codomain, everything in A lives in the domain. These are like two different houses they live in. Okay, so you might have heard those words domain and codomain before, and you've probably heard them in a context that looks like this. F of x is equal to something, 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 blah, 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 right? Well, in an equation in high school, you're always taught that what you're doing, what you're starting with is in the domain, and your answer is going to be in the codomain, right? That's where those words come from. Now, the other thing that you should notice is when we're saying the pairs x and y are in our function f, recognize the function from everything I've told you so far is a subset of the Cartesian product, which makes it another set, right? So the function is a set, so we can definitely make this claim here. But the other thing you should recognize is when we say something like f of y, when we say something like y is equal to f of x, we're saying y is in the codomain and x is in the domain, and when we apply the function to our x, we get something in the codomain. That's what this notation means. The other way we can say this is the image of x is under our function f, or the image of x is under f. These are the two different ways you can say this sentence. So that's actually what this means. You're saying the image of x is under the function of f. This is where the word image comes from. Image, for now, you should sort of just think of it like where you're traveling to, right? Because we're going from A to B, you're traveling from here to here, and this area is the image of our specific arrows that we're going to be drawing.